My own father said, "We wish you'd never been born." I looked him in the eye and replied, "Wish granted. Live your lives as though your son Chris never existed." The entire restaurant went silent. The air in the restaurant was thick with the smell of expensive steak and the stench of my father's resentment. My parents and I hadn't seen each other in 3 years. They called me out of the blue, claiming they wanted to bridge the gap. I should have known better. There was no bridge, only a cliff. My father sat across from me, his face a map of deep-seated disappointment. My mother stared at her wine glass, refusing to meet my eyes. The peace talk lasted exactly 12 minutes before the old venom started leaking out. It started with my career choices, then moved to my lifestyle, and finally landed on my soul. "We gave you everything, Chris," my father hissed, his voice low but razor sharp. I didn't blink. I just watched him. "You gave me expectations," I replied. "Not everything. There's a difference." His face turned a shade of mottled purple I knew all too well from my childhood. He leaned across the table, his eyes narrowing into slits of pure, unadulterated hatred. "You are a drain on our legacy, a constant reminder of failure." The restaurant was busy, a low hum of clinking silverware and muffled laughter surrounding us. Then he said it. He didn't scream it. He whispered it with a chilling, clinical precision. "We wish you'd never been born." The world seemed to stutter for a fraction of a second. My mother didn't protest. She didn't gasp. She just took a slow, deliberate sip of her Merlot. The table next to us went quiet first, then the next. Within seconds, that specific, suffocating silence of a public spectacle took over the room. I felt the weight of 50 pairs of eyes on the back of my neck. I didn't feel sadness. I didn't feel the urge to cry or shout. Instead, a profound, icy clarity washed over me. It was the feeling of a final thread snapping. I looked him directly in the eye. No blinking, no shaking, just cold, hard glass. "Wish granted," I said. My voice was steady, devoid of any warmth or anger. "Live your lives as though your son Chris never existed." I stood up slowly. I didn't throw my napkin. I didn't make a scene. I reached into my pocket and pulled out a small, heavy envelope I'd brought with me. I placed it on the white tablecloth between his hands. "What is this?" he spat, his voice trembling now that I wasn't reacting the way he wanted. "The interest," I said. "Every cent you ever spent on my prestigious education, the cars you bought to show off to your friends, the gifts you used as leverage. I had spent the last 3 years working 80-hour weeks in a high-stress firm for this exact moment. The total is in there, plus 5% for inflation. We're square." His mouth opened, but no sound came out. "From this moment on," I continued, "you were two strangers I met at a dinner I didn't enjoy." I turned to my mother. She looked terrified now. The wine glass was shaking. "Goodbye, Mrs. Miller. I hope the legacy was worth the price." I turned and walked toward the exit. The silence in the restaurant was so absolute you could hear the air conditioning hum. I didn't look back. I didn't need to. As I reached the door, the manager, a man who had seen the whole thing, stepped aside. He didn't ask for the bill. He just nodded, a look of grim respect in his eyes. I stepped out into the cool night air and felt a weight lift that I hadn't even realized I was carrying. I walked to the parking lot, got into my car, and pulled out my phone. I opened my contacts. "Dad, delete. Mom, delete." I sat there for a moment, staring at the empty screen. For 26 years, I had tried to earn a love that was conditional on me being someone else. In 1 minute, I had simply stopped playing the game. My phone buzzed. It was a text from an unknown number. "My father, come back here. You can't just walk away from your family." I didn't reply. I blocked the number. Then I did something I hadn't done in years. I smiled. A few days later, my sister called me. She was crying. "Chris, what did you do?" "Dad is a wreck. He tried to return the money and the bank said the account was closed." "I told them," I said, my voice still hovering at that same freezing temperature. "Chris is gone. You're talking to a ghost." "You're being cruel?" she sobbed. "No," I replied. "I'm being precise. They got exactly what they asked for." I hung up and blocked her too. People think revenge is about fire and screaming. It's not. True revenge is the cold, silent void where a person used to be. They wanted a world without me in it. Now they have to live in it. And the hardest part for them isn't the money or the public embarrassment. It's the fact that I'm finally happy, and they'll never be invited to see it.